So the mania surrounding Pokemon Go, it's gotten out of hand. In North San Diego County, 2 men in their early 20s literally fell off the edge of an ocean bluff while playing this highly addictive game. This area was fenced off, but the 2 men climbed over the fence while playing the game. Firefighters were called and they were able to rescue the men who had fallen several stories off the crumbling sandstone bluff. They were led off the cliff when they were trying to catch a Pokemon. The first man had fallen 75 to 100 feet, and while rescuing him, they noticed the second man unconscious 50 feet below him. Both were taken to a trauma center and they suffered moderate injuries. One of the firefighters who rescued these men did say that I think people need to realize that this is a game, it's not worth your life. But this isn't the only story of danger surrounding the Pokemon Go game. Earlier this week in Anaheim, a player was stabbed multiple times by a group of men in a park. This man was in his late 20s and around 12:30 a.m. he was out catching Pokemon when he was approached by a group of 5 to 6 men. The motive for this attack has not yet been determined. The victim was taken to the hospital. Luckily, his injuries were not life-threatening. And finally, in California, 2 men were robbed and carjacked while playing the game. Law enforcement agencies are saying that these incidents should show Pokemon Go players that they need to pay attention to their surroundings. And they warn that this game could leave players vulnerable to crimes. So for any of you who play this game, take notes and make sure you're extra cautious and careful while playing. Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope so far you're having a lovely weekend. I'm Court McGinley. Today we have a bunch of interesting stories, so let's not waste any time and get right into it. Earlier this week in Calgary, a woman named Sarah Bailey was found dead in her home and her 5-year-old daughter Talia was missing. The next day an Amber Alert was issued. Over the past few days, police and relatives were trying to stay positive while searching and pleading to whoever took this little girl to return her unharmed. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. Because on Thursday afternoon, they found her body near a roadway. The cause of death is currently unknown, but they performed an autopsy yesterday, so the cause should be revealed soon. Yesterday, police returned to the crime scene where the 5-year-old's body was found so that they could collect more evidence. The man behind the killings is 46-year-old Edward Downey. He's being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and his court appearance is scheduled for Wednesday. Things in this world, they just seem to be getting worse and worse, and the violence needs to end. We send our thoughts and prayers to this poor family during this devastating time. Next, a 10-year-old boy in Siberia caught the bubonic plague from a rodent. This little boy was on a hunting expedition in the Altai Mountains with his grandfather when he cut himself by mistake with the same knife he skinned a marmot with. This rodent is known for carrying the disease that is known as Black Death, and unfortunately it is a fatal disease. And that's why hunting this animal is banned in the area. He is currently in the hospital fighting for his life in intensive care. Now after this happened, thousands of people who live near these mountains or are frequent visitors are freaking out that this may turn into an epidemic. Vaccines are currently being rushed to the remote areas so that the chance of a full-scale breakout is minimal. At the time of this recording, over 6,000 people have already been vaccinated. Next, I want to know, do you guys believe in ghosts? Well, if not this next story, it might just change your mind. In Kentucky, a man named Saul was passing the scene of a major car crash when he decided to stop and take a picture. That's a little weird, but moving on. When you first look at this picture, there's nothing really out of the ordinary, right? But take another look and this time look directly above the crowd. This honestly gives me chills, especially since the man actually died in this crash. This image is already all over the internet and so many people believe that this is actually the victim's spirit leaving his body. I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is actually his spirit? Let me know your answer down in the comments. Next, I'm going to show you guys a heartbreaking social experiment. It shows how adults treat a homeless little girl differently depending on how she's dressed. Here we have child actor Anano, who stood in the streets wearing a pink jacket and green dress. Within seconds, people were coming up to her and asking her if she's lost, and everyone was being really helpful. But then everything changed when she switched into a dirty, mismatched outfit. When she dressed in a less put-together outfit, she was completely ignored by everyone. Things actually took a turn for the worst when they continued this social experiment in a restaurant. In her fancy clothes, people were being more than helpful and attentive. But when she switched back into the dirty clothes, people weren't ignoring her this time. Instead, they would tell her to go away, and one man even asked someone working there to remove her from the restaurant. This social experiment was eventually brought to an end after Nana was too upset to continue. People in this world, they're just getting really disappointing. If you see a child who seems lost and they're all alone, you should try and see if they need help, regardless of what they look like. Finally, this summer Starbucks have taken things to a whole new level when it comes to their drink options. But that's not what we're going to talk about. But all of these fancy new drinks deserve a fancy dessert to go with them, right? Well, as it turns out, Starbucks have now come out with Pop-Tarts, or as they're calling them, Magpie Artisan Tarts. In simple terms, just fancy Pop-Tarts. This all started in Brooklyn. This tasty all-natural tart is flaky and super buttery with jam and frosting. They come in 2 flavors, either strawberry or brown sugar cinnamon. At the moment, they are only available in New York City, but soon they will be available nationwide. However, the downside is they're selling for $4 each. That's a little steep seeing as a box of Pop-Tarts goes for less than that. Let me know down in the comments, would you try one of these tarts, and if so, which one? Well, there you go. That's all the news stories I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video, then I'm sure you'd love these ones up over here, so go give them a click and check them out. If you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram, and if you want to be super sweet, you can check out and subscribe to my own personal YouTube channel, Courtney McGinley Vlogs. I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.